coming. Very welcome to Moden Art Oxford. This is lovely that we've got an artist in residence here. Stephanie Douet has been here for three weeks nearly, and making all these lovely objects that you're going to tell us about, aren't you? Martin Kemp and Stephanie are going to be in conversation in a short while. We're going to go down to the basement to do that. But for the moment, I'll just hand over to Stephanie, and you might want to say a bit about this lovely work and how it's come about.
Yes, it was. This is lots of these things are things that I've been making about and thinking about for a long time. Some of them are quite old works that I've brought into this new context. I did start off making sculptures from wood, and I've gradually involved different kind of processes in what I do. And although I started being interested in camouflage and World War II, my interest has grown to extend to all sorts of things like diagrams, blackness, various painters and scientists. Before my 3 weeks here, I had 2 weeks residency at the Museum of the History of Science, where I studied various optical instruments, and some of the smaller things in here were maquettes that I made, possibly thinking that I would make some larger sculptures. For example, the ones on this stand in the middle refer to some of the microscopes and astrolabes and so forth that I found in the museum. The idea was to look at anything optical, and with a very loose idea of making objects inspired by the collection. One of the things that I became very aware of was how what basically links scientists and artists is the eye, the eyeball. And so this shape here, which I'd actually previously used, I think, gosh, I don't know, 15 years ago on an invitation, I felt was fitting as a kind of eyelash frame to the eyes of scientists that I started to draw. I don't know if anyone recognises Einstein's eye down there. I just felt that the artists and scientists, the eye is the link, and so this circular shape sort of beats as a rhythm through some of this this installation. The reflections and shadows also, I wanted to make them more substantial than they would normally be in life, and so in a way, although I use black and white, I also feel that I've used this other sort of intangible material of light and shade. So when I came here, after my 2 weeks, I had 6 weeks in my own studio where I made some bits and pieces, stands mostly, and then I came here 3 weeks ago and just started to, working 8 hours a day, just forcing through the various ideas that have been brewing, and surprising myself really quite a lot of the time with what emerged. The final ones being photographs of objects I made, which I photographed and set up as installations and rephotographed again. For instance, the sort of circular shape here on this board is the shadow seen through this grill shape, which in fact refers back to a Caligas grill in my studio. So the whole thing is a kind of cannibalistic set of associations, and playing with materials in a rather modular way. Anyway, so I think perhaps we can go down, when everyone's had a look, we can go down, Martin and I will go through the various ideas that have led to this.